Hello, welcome to this VOD review for you guys on a game you played with Kings Row. Hopefully this isn't going to be too long of a video. It's going to be kind of shorter, and as such it might be a little bit more critical. Not going to go too in-depth into in-depth into every fight you guys take. It's just going to be focusing on the main runs where the biggest concepts kind of appear. So I hope you enjoy. On this King's Row, you guys do a really good job. You have your Vendetta stage here in the bottom, and you have you guys having a nice hold of this high ground, which your Freya get a lot of really early value and damage. And your Vendetta obviously holding this hotel, preventing them from walking through here, which is really good. Once you guys identify that they're probably not going to rotate for this high ground, because the Ram walks main, you guys drop, hold point, which is really good. You guys notice that Ashe is on the high ground and make the perfect play, sending your Vendetta up to the height. And with that, you guys collapse on that, and the Freya dies. The Ashe dies. That gives you space and attention, but as you kill the Ram. Overall, it was really good. You could have potentially stayed up here a little longer. Your Freya did drop, and you could have potentially left maybe perhaps a Lucio up here with the Freya to shoot from this angle or from this angle, rather than having all your players just collapse in this little spot here. One thing to remember as well is that after this fight, your Freya and your whole team could arguably rotate back up onto this high ground. Here, a couple of fights moving forward. You guys are holding the low ground. Again, you could potentially have started on this height, but that's okay because they're not really looking to take it. However, once you move over here, you do miss, but you do send your Vendetta over there, which is the correct decision, because otherwise they will just take up the space. As you see, the Genji comes up, comes behind. Good Suzu to save herself. But Yuzari's doing good holding on the point and just acting as an anchor for your team. It's really good. Just wait for the team, they're looking to reset. Having the Vendetta in this hotel as like a base point is obviously really good. You guys were doing that before, and it prevents them from walking through. Here we see the Juno ult come out, and immediately you guys respond with a Kitsune rush. They respond with a Kitsune rush. This is great ult layering. Unfortunately, the beat does come out probably like a second too late. You can hesitate a little less with this. This is like ult layering. Again, the Ramatra ults, which puts them an all advantage, you Freya, which puts you equal. Honestly, the only thing here is the beat could have come out a fraction second earlier, and the Freya ult, if you had it, just come out as soon as you can. If you're committing ults this fight, they're committing heavy, and you're just responding, you had good ult economy, you could have just probably just ulted more and won this fight. In this fight here, you guys have managed to retake and have gained control of the point, since they're Ram and Cassidy are late. What we get here though is the Cass on the right, who does get pinged. You guys all need to go for that. At the very least, send your bubble your Freya, bubble your Vendetta, kill that Cassidy, because he gets a pick. You guys don't go for that. It's a free kill. Anytime that you see a lone person on a side, because what support is this Cass going to get except maybe a Kiriko teleporting to him from the main? And even then, it's a 2 versus maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. You could all just kill this. Even if some of you stay on the objective, you can still shoot the Cass from where you're stood. Meanwhile, yeah, like I say, bubble your Vendetta and just send your Vendetta and Kiri Vendetta, Lucio Vendetta, Freya can just fly around this corner and just kill this Cassidy. It's a really easy punish. So if anyone sees that kind of isolation from a target, just call it out immediately, and you guys have just got to commit to it and just yell it. We end up having another similar situation here where the Cassidy has walked on the right hand side. You got your Freya up here. Freya is clearly aware. Send your Vendetta on this Cassidy, even if they get care. You don't want him just standing there and just shooting Isaiah for free. He's isolated. Yes, his Juno and Kiriko can heal him from a distance, but if you just send your Vendetta on him with a bubble, which is your team's bread and butter, he's free. I mean, he's still back there. You guys have all gone forward and he's still back there. You did an amazing job doing the bubble onto the back line, but the Cassidy's so much easier. I know he's not the best, he's a hit scan actually, so he is a really good target. I mean, aside from the fact he has the hinder and the roll, which, don't get me wrong, are dangerous. If it has the whole point of Vendetta going in with the Zarya, it's a free kill. On your guys' attack, you make a really good fast rotate around here, and you notice the Kiriko sends your Vendetta in, almost get the Kiriko kill, but she uses both her cooldowns to get out. That's no one's fault. The Genji comes up to contest and you clear him off, which is really good, and you guys then move over to this high ground here. Just changing the camera perspective, like I said, you guys do a good idea to come up to this high ground and rotate around, which is really good. My only complaint is you guys could have come further through onto this other side of the high ground. Instead, you guys go in early, and it makes it difficult for your Freya to get LOS, and your teams to get LOS down here. If you'd had teammates up on this high ground, or perhaps even on the upper high ground here, and even potentially even wrapping even further, you would have had a lot more sight lines which you could work on to just kill these guys here, and create a nice little kill box. So honestly, just a few seconds more patience for you guys to keep walking around, because you do a lovely rotate, like I say, around here, and you could have like, you know, say 2 or 3 players here. You could have a player here or 2 players here, and you could then just send your Vendetta in and engage, and it's just a lot of damage in this zone. It forces them to back out, and once they've backed out through here, you then would have control of the objective. Just quickly going to float around here. Afraid does a good job coming up into this window early, getting some nice spam damage. We see here in front of us, the Genji comes around and rotates to try and get a 1v1 with the Freya. As the Freya, and on the side fight in a 1v1, the best thing you can do when you have a Kiriko on your team is just say, I need care, I need care. Or for example, you could be like, up here, care top left, or care on up, care look up. And care is just obviously the call to say you want help. So that's just something you can do. It makes it much easier, especially if you don't get noticed. And again, on the Kiriko, if you notice that your teammate looks like they're in that 1v1 side fight, just head up there and help them out and make it a 2 versus 1. Your Freya does win that though, because they're just better. And this happens a few times with the Genji actually. I am going to play this clip in some slightly slower speed, just because a lot happens and I really want to slowly break it down. Great engage on the Genji here, which is really nice. They come out with an orbital ray and a Ramatcha punching once again, and you guys do a good job. It takes a few seconds, but you guys do a good job to begin kiting and walking back to here, which is great. Or easiest way to deal with orbital rays, you guys clearly know, is to back up. You then get the Ramatcha ult coming out and beat. In response, really good response. Perfect, exactly what you guys want to do. Now, where you guys try to punish the Ram, and this is a good decision, arguably what you could do is you could actually have backed up even more. And by doing so, the Ramatcha either then has to overextend and would get himself into trouble because he's moved too far away from his supports in the back, or the Ramatcha has to back up and he would lose the value of his ultimate. And that lets you guys come back in with whatever ultimates you have, which you have now just used here, which is Graviton Surge and Freya's Bowler. This decision to not back up any further does end up hurting you a little bit, because while you do get a very good Graviton Surge on both the supports in the backline, perfect to target the supports rather than your team Ramatcha, the extra health they have is just problematic. And unfortunately, because the Ram is just standing there holding guard, while with ult, you kind of just struggle to quite get the kills you needed, and it's that slight advantage which does end up in the long run losing you this fight. The cast does also make a good play coming around the back, but there's not really much you could do about that. Although it is to be said that if you guys had backed up more, the Cassidy's rotation here could have been actually thwarted. But that wasn't your guys' fault, that's just the Cassidy making a great play. In this fight here, we see that you guys, there's a Cassidy up on this high ground, and you do end up noticing it. You can see, you're looking around, you're wondering where this Cassidy is. The ping comes out and you know he's there. Now if you just want to look and see how long it takes for you guys to decide to eventually collapse on this Cassidy. He stood there, he almost gets your Lucio low. Poke, and then you speed boost in. Perfect, Lucio goes in, Desire Vendetta bubble comes in, you kill him. Which is great. The only thing I would say is just do that quicker, just commit to quicker. And once again, this Cassidy is on the side angle, and he's just such a free kill. And you do end up, I think you guys lose this fight. Oh no, you win it, you do win, very good. Because the Cassidy, you just ran along and you just punished him. Very nice. And again, just remember to look out for opportunities like that, especially when you have the Lucio and your team is just going to be playing super aggressive with this composition, so keep it up. Just one final clip for this. The Ramatcha, you are so close to killing him, it's unlucky, but then he ends up popping Annihilation and the Juno ult falls out. This Ramatcha is not going to die. The best thing you guys can do is just back up and make them spend their ults. The beat comes in, which is really useful, and eventually you guys do kill the Ramatcha, which is fantastic, good focus. But you guys probably would have had a bit of an easier time if you decided to, instead of all just shooting the Ramatcha while he's here, and he pops Annihilation, you guys could have just honestly just backed up and avoided both ultimates entirely. Maybe commit beat to ensure that you back up safely, but other than that, this is a really good fight for you guys. Considering you played into these two ultimates, you did it very well. But it's just a bit of a smart decision. Makes it a little bit easier, especially when you look at the time at the top. This is the last team fight of the match. Let them spend their ults, back up. You could win this. Unfortunately, you guys obviously do lose the game, but this King's Roam Up is great. It really does show how far you guys have come along.